Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for April 29th, 2021. Now, man, with this show, man, this is a really good show, man. Really good show. The show, it felt important, with, everybody vying after Kenny Omega and the Impact World Championship. They made they made the whole show about the Impact World Championship and Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega showing up. He needs to show up in person or he'll be stripped of the championship and suspended, you know. And they're building up towards their next pay-per-view called Under Siege. That's on May 15th, I believe it is, May 15th. And so so we had qualifying matches too, six-way scramble, whatever you want to call it. And all in all, and this show, man, it was just really important, man. They're building around Under Siege and they're building towards the Impact World Championship. So yeah, man. So yeah, and just the locker room in general, just getting the opportunity at Gold, that's what made the show important and watchable. And we also, man, also had some great matches on the show, really great matches on the show, man. But I'm gonna get into that later. But yeah, so this is the Impact Wrestling review for April 29th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Because I am here. I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. So yeah, first off, we started off the show, and it was with the Impact locker room, Impact Wrestling locker room, and they were waiting outside of Scott D'Amore's office, wanting a shot against Omega.
Guys, I got it. The tax team has got it. All of you want a shot at Kenny Omega. Yeah. World title. Hey, I'll tell you what. Head to the ring right now, because I'm about to address it. Right now? Right now, the ring.
You got Don Callis showing up too.
Good job addressing the wolves at the door. Thanks for doing that.
I'm happy to take care of that and
What?
maybe off your phone for a minute and get Kenny ready for that in-ring
That's
celebration.
what I'm doing here. I'm trying to work the Zoom link for the big celebration. He's very excited. Just a bad internet connection.
Zoom link?
Yeah, everything's Zoom now.
No.
Zoom now. It's one of the big benefits of the last
Listen,
year. Of to talk
look.
to people.
Contract was very clear. Kenny Omega has to be here in person. If not, remember, Khan and me agreed on this. Not only be stripped of the Impact World's Championship, he'll be indefinitely suspended.
Wow.
Both companies.
So you mean physically here?
From both companies.
Physically
Wow.
here in the building.
How am I going to do
Simple.
that on short notice?
I don't know. You're the invisible hand. Make
How
it
can you
happen.
make these decisions
Pull the
quickly?
strings.
I'm
Get
gonna
a
have
jet.
to call
I don't know.
somebody now. Mr. Barry, we got a problem.
So yeah, that was it. So if Kenny Omega if he didn't show up, on Impact, he will be stripped of the Impact World Championship, and he'll be indefinitely suspended from both Impact Wrestling and AEW. So yeah, right after that, we had Scott D'Amore. He came out to the ring to address the Impact locker room.
This past Sunday at Rebellion was a historic night, not just for Impact Wrestling, but for the entire wrestling industry. And as everybody's well aware, we have a new Impact World's Champion in Kenny Omega. So congratulations to Kenny. And I'd also like to tip my hat and pay my respects to Rich Swann for his amazing performance this past Sunday. And I think it's pretty common knowledge in the wrestling industry that when a champion loses his title, traditionally he gets a rematch,
Right.
automatic.
Mhm.
But Rebellion was an unprecedented situation with that title versus title main event. And Rich Swann and everybody involved, all parties, knew that this was a unique, one-night, winner-take-all situation. And there was no rematch clause.
Oh, wow.
So it seems that we have to get down to getting a #1 contender. And that's why May 15th at Under Siege, there's going to be a 6-way match to determine the #1 contender for Kenny Omega's Impact World's Championship. I mean, that's unless Kenny Omega doesn't make it here tonight before Impact on Access ends, in which case that 6-way at Under Siege will be to crown an Impact World's Champion. But you know, Don Callis is working diligently away at getting Kenny Omega here before the end of the night. So I'm sure that's not going to be a problem. But either way, the stakes at Under Siege could not be bigger.
And so, yeah, so that was the first part of it. You know, if Kenny Omega, if he doesn't show up, yeah, he will be stripped of the Impact World Championship. And, you know, in that 6-way scramble match, that Under Siege will be for the Impact World Championship. That's only if Kenny Omega doesn't show up. The 6-way will be for the Impact World Championship. And so, yeah, so Scott D'Amore, you know, he called Jake something to the ring, you know, who was already out there, who was already dressed to compete. And so, yeah, he told Jake something that, hey, you know, you're ready. I believe that you're ready. And tonight, you're going to be one of the guys to qualify. You'll have a qualifying match, the first qualifying match of the night for the 6-way match. And so, yeah, with this match, so, yeah, it was Jake something versus Chris Bay. And so, yeah, with this match, man, it was a really great match. Great back and forth between these two guys. And so, yeah, so Bay, he used his speed against Jake. And then, you know, Jake, he had fought back. He had a body block to Bay. And we had an elbow drop, a diving elbow drop to Jake while Jake was draped on the rope. And we had a diving clothesline to Jake, and Jake had kicked out of it. And we had strikes to Bay. We had a powerbomb to Bay, and he kicked out. It was a nice looking powerbomb too. A nice looking powerbomb from Jake something to Chris Bay, and Bay had kicked out. And then we had Bay hit a code red to Jake, and then Jake had kicked out. And then we had, you know, Jake, he had hit a discus clothesline, a nice one, a wicked looking one, a wicked discus clothesline to Chris Bay. And, you know, Jake, his mistake is he didn't go for the cover. He did not go for the cover. I would have went for the cover. If I had a move like that absolutely floored this guy, I would have went for the cover. He didn't go for the cover. So that ended up costing him in the end. And so, yeah, so Raju. So, yeah, first off, man, we had Jake. He was trying to go for something, a move. And so Rohit Raju, who was outside of the ring, so you had the whole entire Impact locker room outside watching this match. And so, yeah, so Raju, he had grabbed at Jake's feet. And so that distracted Jake. And so, you know, Chris Bay, he took advantage of it. He took advantage of, you know, the distraction. And he had rolled up Jake by putting his foot on a rope. So he put his foot on a rope for more leverage to win the match. So Chris Bay wins the match. And it's the first person to qualify for that 6-way scramble match, that 6-way scramble match at Under Siege. And so, yeah, so with this match, I knew that Chris was going to win. I knew Bade was going to win and qualify for this match because Jake, man, I don't even know what they doing with him, man. I do not know what they doing with him. You know, like he's lost time and time again. And plus, man, he going after the World Championship, so I don't even think he's ready for the World Championship. He should probably be a guy to go after the X Division Championship. He should probably be that guy to go after the X Division Championship. And Chris Bay, you know, he's been X Division champion, so I think it's time for him to go after the World Championship. But Jake, man, Jake is way too early to send him after the World title. I would much rather send him after the X Division title. That's just me. Give him some wins first. Give Jake some wins before you send him after a championship, man. But yeah, that was it with the match. Really, really good match, man, between these two. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Don Callis. You know, he was talking to Kenny Omega on the phone.
I know. We got to get here. Yeah, it's in the contract. Look, just take the jet. You'll be here in a half an hour or less. Yeah, just take the jet. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't. Yeah. All right. All right, I'll see you when you get here.
It isn't the Jackal. Can I call you Jackal? Because that's exactly what you are.
Sami Callihan
Seems
interrupts.
like you got yourself in quite the pickle. Everything you and Kenny's been planning years upon years upon years might just go up in smoke.
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Well, anarchy issues. You've got inner child is wounded. What is with you anyway? I mean, what is this even your business, Sammy?
What's in my business?
Yeah, go have
What's in my
another
business?
hardcore match
If
with
Kenny
somebody.
shows up, this is where I want you to know. You won't know when. You won't know where. But I'm coming for what's mine.
Uh-oh. And that was it from Sami Callihan, man. And so, man, I was like, wow. I was like, uh-oh. And, you know, Sammy, he said, you won't know when, you don't know where, but I'm coming for Kenny Omega, so he's going after Omega. So this, I was getting excited over this. I was really getting excited over this. You know, like, dude, like, Sami Callihan saying that you don't know when or where, you know, because Kenny Omega, he is an AEW star, and he is the AEW World Champion and the Impact World Champion. And so I was thinking about this, you know, what if Sami Callihan invade AEW Dynamite? What if Sami show up on AEW Dynamite to attack, to beat up Kenny Omega? And this is what I was talking about last week, man. You know, there needs to be, on my Rebellion pay-per-view, my Rebellion review, I said that somebody needs to invade AEW. And Sami Callihan might be that first person to do it. He might be that first person to invade AEW, to go after Kenny Omega. So, like, you know, because, you know, AEW comes on before Impact Wrestling. AEW is on Wednesday and Impact is on Thursday. So what if, you know, if Sami Callihan doesn't want to wait for Impact Wrestling? What if he doesn't want to wait for Impact Wrestling and decide to show up on AEW Dynamite the same night that Kenny Omega is on AEW Dynamite? It just attack him out of nowhere, man. Dude, that would be cool, man. Sami Callihan show up on AEW, man. It would be nice. And that's what I'm saying, man. We need more Impact talent to show up on AEW, man. And vice versa. We need more AEW talent showing up on Impact. And so, yeah, man, that was it with that. You know, Don Callis, you know, calling Kenny Omega, telling him, hey, you got to be here. You got to come here as soon as possible, man. And so, yeah, and that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Taylor Wilde.
Excuse me, Taylor Wilde. Hi. After seeing your exciting return at Rebellion, how are you feeling knowing that you're about to have your first match in 10 years in an Impact Wrestling ring tonight?
Well, it feels like the last decade of being retired never happened. I'm back. I'm home. I'm where I belong. And I'm main staging at Impact Palooza.
Tonight Ashford.
This is awesome.
Look, I don't mean to eavesdrop or anything. I was just texting my phone, but I happened to hear everything you just said. And honestly, I've been looking for a partner for so long. Haven't I?
So hard.
long.
So
And I have had to turn a lot of them down. But gotta say, I was not expecting you to have this massive return after 10 years just to be my partner. I'm honored, really.
I think it's fate.
It's fate,
Well,
isn't it?
I
fate.
really appreciate it. I do, but that's not why I came out of retirement. I'm here for Deonna Purrazzo. I'm gunning for the Knockouts Championship.
I hear you. Yes, right?
Yeah.
The two of us, tag team champions. Yeah.
That's good.
Right. I'm feeling it.
Got the
Yeah.
two?
No.
I think she means like, no duh. You know, like the kids on TikTok say.
No,
Oh,
yeah. Like,
Oh, my
obviously.
God,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
These two.
Oh, she'll come around. Don't worry.
Yeah.
This is the team right here. This is the team.
I feel it.
And that was it. You know, Tennille Dashwood wanted to be partners with Taylor Wilde because, you know, Taylor Wilde had saved her, you know, at Rebellion. Not at Rebellion, well, it was at Rebellion. You know, Tennille Dashwood was getting beat down by Purrazzo and the rest of the heels. And then Taylor Wilde went out to go help, taking out, you know, Kimberly and Susan. And, you know, and now Dashwood, she wants to be partners with Wilde. And Wilde, she said, no, I want nothing to do with you. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a match. And it was Sam Beale versus W. Morrissey, you know, formerly known as Big Cass. you know, at Rebellion, he was known as Will Morrissey, but he changed it. He shortened his name to W. Morrissey. And so, so Morrissey, he had came out, he had grabbed the microphone and spoke.
You may recognize this face, but you do not know who I am. You don't know who any of these people are. They come out here and they parade around like they're your heroes, like they love you. They do not love you. They do not care about you. These are very bad people. In fact, this entire industry is filled with bad people. And the only difference between me and all of them is I'm not afraid to admit it.
And that was it from W. Morrissey and what he had to say before his match against Sam Beale. And so, yeah, man, this was absolutely a squash match. It was absolutely a squash match. Morrissey, he beat the hell out of this guy. Beat him down. And so, yeah, and then basically he just hit him with a powerbomb. He hit him with a powerbomb to Sam Beale to win a match. So, W. Morrissey gets the W, no pun intended. So, yeah, W. Morrissey wins, and that was it. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Kimber, the virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champion, and Susan.
Ladies, tonight we will be witnessing, after 10 long years, the in-ring return of the former Knockouts Tag Team Champion, the former Knockouts Champion, Taylor Wilde.
Here, let me stop you right there. The key word in that sentence is former champion. And Taylor Wilde had the audacity to not only attack me and Susan at Rebellion, but to attack the current Knockouts Champion, Deonna Purrazzo. Well, let me tell you something, Taylor. Tonight, you finally get to make your official in-ring return against me, the curator. And not only am I going to beat you, I'm going to do it with both of my best friends by my side.
You know what, Kim? I think tonight is the perfect opportunity for you and Susan to go out there on your own. I want to hang back. I want to watch what you do to Taylor backstage. You two can handle this yourselves.
You know what, Deonna? You're right. We've got this. Come on.
Oh, Deonna, is there a reason that you don't want to be there for Taylor Wilde's return?
Gia, what are you trying to say? Are you somehow insinuating that I don't want to face Taylor? That's not the case, okay? I have not backed down from a challenge since I came to Impact Wrestling, since I became the Knockouts Champion, two-time Knockouts Champion. I've defeated every single knockout on our roster, okay?
Uh-oh. Havoc has showed up, staring at Deonna Purrazzo. And that was it. You know, is Havoc next? If Havoc is Havoc next for Deonna Purrazzo, I don't know, man, but it should be good. And Havoc is not gonna win either. Deonna Purrazzo, man, I'm telling you, she should stay the champion forever, man. Just like what she said, man, she beating everybody on that roster. And Deonna Purrazzo, man, she will beat everybody. Everybody that step up to her, man, she will beat them. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller again. She interviews Willie Mack.
Willie Mack, W. Morrissey shocked the world when he replaced Eric Young at Rebellion in the 8-man tag match. And he seemed to have a particular animosity towards you. After hearing what he had to say tonight, do you understand his actions any better?
Hell no, I don't understand his actions. I don't even think he understands his own. You see, I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of workers union where they all call each other and come to a new place and always want to pick out me for some reason. And I ain't the kind of guy to complain. I roll with the punches. See, he took it out on the fans for his downfall. He took it out on me at Rebellion, and then he took it out on Sam Beale. Well, you know what? I'm going to take care of some business, so I'm here to challenge him to a match at Under Siege. And we're going to handle things like men and put in that work.
And that was it. I don't know if I would have done it at Under Siege. Probably would have saved the match for next week for Impact, because it's not a pay-per-view match. But yeah, that's just me. I would have just put it on next week's show. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, right after this we had the women's match. We had Kimber with Susan in her corner versus Taylor Wilde making her return after 10 years in a ring. And so yeah, so this is a really good match, very competitive match. You know, Wilde, she looked good. You know, Lee, she looked good. And so yeah, we had a shotgun drop kick to Wilde to start off the match, and we had a drop kick to Lee. We had Wilde, she tried to go for the sharpshooter, but Lee, she had overpowered it. She had fought out of it, and it targeted Wilde's leg. And so yeah, Lee, she took control during the commercial break. No picture in picture. You thought I was gonna say picture in picture, but it was no picture in picture. So yeah, so Lee, you know, she distracted the referee at one point right after commercial break. And then Susan, she had took off her shoe and put a smelly shoe in Wilde's face. So that was really nasty. And so yeah, Wilde, she started fighting back with clotheslines. She had a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to Lee. And then, you know, Lee, she was fighting back. She had kicks to Wilde. And then Wilde, she had blocked a senton bomb at one point by getting the knees up. And then Wilde, she had hit a code breaker to Lee. And then to end the match, she had she locked in a modified Indian deathlock to Lee to win the match. So Kimberly, she taps out. So that means that Taylor Wilde, she wins the match. And so yeah, so Susan, she attacked Taylor Wilde after the match. And Wilde, she was fighting back. She was taking out, you know, she was beating down Susan. And so Tennille Dashwood had came out, you know, ran out to the ring. And, you know, she had hit Susan with a running drive-by kick. And so right after that, we had Taylor Wilde. She was looking at Tennille Dashwood in disgust. Like in disgust, saying that, you know, I didn't ask for your help. Why are you out here? I didn't ask for your help. And so yeah. And that was it. That was it with that, you know, really good match. And so yeah, one problem that I did have with this, you know, when Taylor Wilde had came out to theme music, you know, the commentary team, the commentary team, they asked, you know, hey D-Lo, tell a new wrestling fan who is Taylor Wilde, because I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even know who Taylor Wilde was. And so when he was explaining it, when D-Lo Brown was explaining who Taylor Wilde was, like, dude, I didn't even hear what he said, man. I didn't even hear what he said because Taylor Wilde's theme music, her terrible theme music, I can't even hear anything that they said about Taylor Wilde, you know. But yeah, that was it with the match. Really good match. But that's my only one critique on this. You know, didn't understand, didn't even know who she was, and it didn't even hear them explain who she was because of awful theme music. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviewed Scott D'Amore.
Welcome back to Impact Wrestling. I'm outside of the office of Scott D'Amore, hoping to get a few words from him about... Oh, excuse me, Scott.
Yeah.
Earlier today, you said that Kenny Omega would be stripped of the Impact World title if he didn't show up here tonight. Do you have any update on him?
I mean, I think you summed it up, Gia. And the fact is, this isn't the first time that we've had to deal with a difficult world's champion here. And that's why, regardless of what happens here tonight, we're going to have a six-way at Under Siege. Maybe it's for the number one contender.
Uh-oh, Moose.
I just heard about this qualifying nonsense. My question for you is, why are you making me go through all this hoops? I mean, you know I'm the only man on this roster that's capable of going through the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega to get back what's rightfully ours.
Here's your chance.
I mean, who else on this roster is a five-star athlete?
Hey, you know, Moose, you like to say that all the time. You're a five-star athlete. We call it a 5-tool player. And you know what? You're right. You're a stud. You're everything you say you are. So this six-way is going to be easy, because think about it. You're a 5-star athlete. And you got to go through 5 other guys in this six-way to be the number one contender. And in order to get into that six-way, all you got to do is beat one measly little guy. That's like a warm-up for you. It's like a night off. You should be thanking me for that.
You try to walk away.
You're taking advantage of our friendship. Just understand, just because of our relationship, that doesn't mean I won't hurt you or anyone else to get what is rightfully mine.
Hey, what's up, guys?
James Storm.
Oh, am I interrupting something here? I'm sorry. You want me to come back? Because the way I looked at it, like, you was about to call Scott harm.
Do you not think that I wanted to cause him harm when he was part of Team Canada and I was America's Most Wanted? I wanted to pop his little head off, but now he's the EVP of Impact Wrestling, and you just can't do that. As much as I hate authority, pretty sure you hate authority. That's just how it goes. But it looks like you and I, next week, we're going to dance. And I have been looking for you because I wanted to give you this. My grandfather always told me, if you only get in a fight with someone bigger than you, you might want to pack a sack lunch. Seeing that you're a big old boy and you look like a two-bagger, this is going to be an all-night ass whipping. See you next week, Moose.
This is on you.
And that was it. So yeah, next week and the next week's qualifying matches, we have qualifying matches next week too. There's gonna be James Storm versus Moose. I'm going with Moose, man. Moose all the way. So yeah, so Moose, I'm guessing he's gonna beat James Storm next week to advance in that 6-way match. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had the X Division Championship match, rematch. And so it was Ace Austin with Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander, the new X Division champion. And so yeah, man, this is a really great match. Probably the best match on the show, man. This match was. And so yeah, so Alexander, he targeted Austin's arm at one point, and then he had a Northern Light suplex to Austin, and then Austin had kicked out. And we had a Bulldog face buster to Alexander, and Alexander had kicked out. And then Ace, at one point, he used his Ace card to Alexander behind the referee's back to give him a paper cut, but the referee didn't see it. It was illegal last night. It was illegal at Impact, but it was legal on Sunday. And so yeah, so Alexander, he had a deadlift rolling German suplex to Ace Austin, so that was a nice spot. And so yeah, we had a torture rack powerbomb to Austin, and he kicked out. And we had a knee strike to Alexander. And we had an ankle lock to Austin, but Austin fought out of the ankle lock. And we had a kick to Alexander, a kick to Josh Alexander that absolutely leveled this guy, knocked him to the ground. He knocked him the hell out, man, with that kick. And so Austin, he went for the cover, and Alexander had kicked out. He kicked out of that. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they were going back and forth, counter after counter on the ring apron, dodging each other's moves. And so yeah, we had the world's strongest slam to Austin on the ring apron, shade to Mark Henry right there. And so yeah, we had Madman Fulton. He tried to get involved in this match. He tried to take out Alexander outside of the ring, but Alexander, he had sidestepped first off, he slapped him in the face. He slapped Madman Fulton in the face, and so that angered Fulton. And so he tried to run after Josh Alexander. So Alexander, he had sidestepped him, and Madman Fulton, he had landed. He crashed in that steel steps. He had his knee had hit those steel steps. And so yeah, so they went back into the ring. They were going back and forth, Austin and Alexander was. And we had a springboard enziguri to Alexander. And so yeah, so Austin, he went for a top rope. It looked like a top rope corkscrew. But Austin, he undershot it. And he landed on Alexander's knee. So that had to hurt, man. That had to hurt. And so yeah, he went for the cover, and Alexander had kicked out. And so yeah, and then we had a powerbomb. We had a powerbomb into a backbreaker to Ace Austin. And in the match, we had Alexander. He had locked in his ankle lock submission move to Ace Austin to win the match. So Ace Austin taps out, and Josh Alexander, he wins the match and is still the X Division champion. And so yeah, this is a really great match, great back and forth, the best match on this show. And so yeah, that was it with that. And who's next? Who's next for Josh Alexander? Who's gonna be going after Josh Alexander next? I don't know, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Don Callis. He was on the phone with Kenny Omega backstage.
So you're in the air. Perfect. Look, what I need is wheels down. What's the wheels down, Tom? I need an ETA. We don't have a lot of wiggle room here. We gotta get to the building. We're gonna have a big problem.
Johnny
Daddy, good to see you, Daddy. How you
and
doing?
Hernandez.
Loosen up.
Hey, listen, 20,000. It's not to come up with. I'm a little short this month.
Yeah, you owe us $20,000 in the match.
Yeah, I know, Daddy. But you know what? Things are tough, right? The big man's got to have his muscle shakes.
Okay, you know what? You can tell me about this later. I got a problem. I got to get Kenny Omega.
I got you, Daddy.
We gotta find someone. Hey, oh, actually, wait. Do you have a car? You don't have a car, right? But wait a minute. But maybe if you could do this little thing for me, we could square up that 20 grand you owe Kenny Omega and myself, and we could be square. How do you put that?
Well, I'll tell you what.
But I need you to run an errand. Do you have like a flunky or a stooge or an idiot
I always got
that
stooges.
could do a simple pickup?
I got the perfect stooge.
I need someone to pick up Kenny Omega at a private airfield. You got a guy who can do it?
Dino loves driving. He's
Whoever
got a
that
96
is, it sounds fine as long as he's on time. I don't care what his name is. I'm going to text you the address to the private airfield.
Perfect. I love it. Page me, Daddy.
Page?
Page you.
Hey, yep, no. Someone's coming. It's going to be a moron or an idiot, but someone's coming.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got this.
And so, yeah, that was it with that. So, yeah, man. Kenny Omega is running out of time, man. They made mention of it on commentary over and over and over again. You know, Kenny Omega, you know, he's not here yet. He is not here yet. And, you know, and so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews the new Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering.
Rachel Ellering, Jordynne Grace, first of all, congratulations on capturing the Knockout Tag Team titles at Rebellion. Jordynne, you have attempted to capture these titles before, but it seems that Rachel was the missing piece that you needed.
Gia, she was definitely the missing piece. Rachel is a star, obviously, and she has just elevated me to a completely different level.
Thank you, bud. Gia, things in wrestling can take time, right? It can be trial and error to find that perfect fit. But Jazz did just that, and she found that perfect fit, and we've come together as a team. It's both of us. It's both of us. And
she
Jordynne
definitely
is
the
special.
missing
Fire and
puzzle
flavor.
piece because you wouldn't have done it any other way. Isn't that right, Jordynne? Jordynne, I mean, we done beat you one too many times before. But Rachel here, Rachel is the true star. I mean, she's been around the world and elevated that team right where it needs to be. I mean, you really could have done this without Jordynne. I mean, you really could have. You could have beat us without Jordynne. I mean, you're a true star. You are a second generation star, girl. Oh, Jordynne, you fake ass Buzz Lightyear. You done found your Woody and found a friend.
Called a Buzz Lightyear.
You know. So here's what we're gonna do, ladies.
What you gonna do, Cardi B and Cardi C? Do tell.
Oh.
She got yeah.
Cardi B and Cardi C.
All right. At Under Siege, we get a rematch. And let me tell you this. We, at Under Siege, will snatch some edges, especially on your dirty ass headband, and take our titles back. And that's on what, boo? Period. Okay. Now we gonna prepare. Get ready to get going.
Oh, now they're gonna prepare.
And that was it. You know, Fire and Flavor, they invoking a rematch clause against Grace and Ellering at Under Siege. Now, with this match, you know, I wouldn't have taken the titles off of Fire and Flavor. But at first I predicted that they were gonna beat Fire and Flavor, but I didn't want them to take the titles off of them because, you know, Rachel Ellering, you know, her being her first night in a company, her first night in a company winning a championship, that just rubbed me the wrong way, man. So yeah, it's gonna be a tag team match for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championships at Under Siege, and Fire and Flavor, they're not gonna win. They are not gonna win their titles back because, you know, it's not gonna make any sense. It's not gonna make any sense. You know, what sense would it make to have Fire and Flavor win their titles back right after they lost them? So it's not gonna make any sense. And then you'll ask, what was the point of taking the titles off of them? You know. So yeah, it really wouldn't make any sense to put the titles back on Fire and Flavor. And so yeah, that was it with that. And right after this, we had a 6-way qualifying match. This is our second 6-way qualifying match. And it was Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers versus Always Ready, Matt Cardona. And so, yeah, we had Cardona and Myers. They were going after each other. And we had, you know, they were fighting outside the ring. And they brought it back into the ring. You know, the bell had rung. And then Myers, he had targeted Cardona's injured knee. So that was the focus of the match. And so, yeah, we had a basement drop kick to Myers. And, you know, Cardona, he had hurt himself off of that move. He had added more damage to his knee by hitting that move. And so, yeah, we had Myers. He continued to target Cardona's, his knee the entire match. And so, yeah, we had a belly-to-back suplex to Cardona. He kicked out. And we had a diving drop kick to Myers. He didn't use both of his legs to hit the drop kick. He only used one leg, his good leg, to hit that drop kick. And we had a Impaler DDT, or Impaler DDT, a nice looking one at that, by Brian Myers. So he had Impaler DDT to Cardona, Shades of Edge right there, the Rated R Superstar. And Cardona had kicked out. And so we had a sky high, elevated sit-out spine buster, Shades of Impact's very own commentator for Impact Wrestling, D'Lo Brown. So yeah, D'Lo Brown, he popped for that move when Cardona hit the sky high. And so we had a flatliner to Cardona. And then, Myers, he tried to go for his finishing move, that roster cut to Cardona. But Cardona, he had turned it into a radio silence. So he caught Brian Myers with a radio silence to win the match. So Mack Cardona, he wins the match and will go to Under Siege in that 6-way match. So he's the second person to qualify for that 6-way scramble match at Under Siege. And so, yeah, it was a great match. But at first, I was like, man, why did Cardona win? I was going for Myers to win the match. It like with Cardona winning, it's 50-50 booking, man. 50-50 booking. Myers had won at Rebellion, and Cardona he had won last night. So it's 50-50 booking. So not a fan of 50-50 booking. But yeah, these type guys, I would have sent after the X Division Championship and not the World Championship. I would have sent them after the X Division Championship because they have a better chance at winning the X Division Championship than the World Championship. Because right now, man, I don't think nobody is beating Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship. And so yeah, that was it with that. I would have much rather send these guys after the X Division Championship, send these guys contended for the X Division title and not the World Championship. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Violent by Design. That's Eric Young, Rhino, Deonna, and Jordynne. They spoke.
Disappointment's a tricky thing. It can deceive you. Deceive. It can make you think things. It can make you do things. It can make you choose the wrong path. But
and that was it. That was it from Violent by Design. So next week is going to be Rhino, the War Machine Rhino versus Chris Sabin in that qualifying match. Now with this one, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's either going to be in this 6-way scramble match. It's either going to be James Storm or Chris Sabin in this scramble match. And so, James Storm, he's not going to beat Moose. So Moose, he will be in that 6-way scramble match. And as for Sabin and Rhino, I guess I think Sabin might end up in this match. That's just me. So yeah, you have to choose which member you want, in the 6-way scramble. And so yeah, that was it with that. I'm telling you, man, I love Violent by Design. I love the group. I love the makeup of the group. Eric Young being the leader. And you got his guys there. You got Rhino, Jordynne, who's impressive, and Deonna. All these guys, man, they look great together. They look great together, man. And when they added Rhino to that group, man, they made the group stronger, man. And I still got to get me a Violent by Design t-shirt, man. I still got to get it. And I like how they call everybody the sickness. They're trying to fight this sickness, going through everybody because everybody is sick. Everybody is the sickness. They contaminated. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a video package of a newcomer coming into Impact Wrestling from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and his name is El Phantasmo. And he's a part of the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, yeah, he's gonna be here next week. He's gonna be on Impact Wrestling next week. So yeah, I'm not familiar who he is. I never saw his matches before. But yeah, it should be good. So yeah, right after that, we had the main event. And it was the third 6-way qualifying match. And so it was the draw, Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards. And so yeah, we had, this match right here, man, it would have been much better. This match would have been much better, man. if the interference didn't happen. But I'm gonna get into that. So yeah, both of these guys, they were going back and forth. We had an exploder suplex to Edwards, and we had a tope suicida to Callahan, and we went to commercial break. No picture in picture. And so yeah, we had Callahan. He had tripped up Edwards on the ropes, and we had a jawbreaker to Callahan, and we had a Frankensteiner to Callahan. And both of these guys, they were going back and forth with strikes and chops. And we had a Blue Thunder Bomb to Callahan, and he kicked out. And we had a pop-up power bomb to Edwards. And right after that, we had Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. They had came out with Don Callis, and Omega and the Good Brothers, they attacked, Callahan and Edwards. So it was a disqualification. So the match, the match is over. And so, they beat down Callahan. They gave Callahan a Magic Killer. They gave Edwards a Magic Killer. And so, yeah, you had Finjuice. They had came out to even up the odds. And so Finjuice ended up getting taken out by the Elite. And so, yeah. They said that, when Omega came out and attacked, Omega and the Good Brothers, they came out to attack Edwards, and Callahan and the Finjuice guys came out to help Edwards and Callahan. Right after the match was over, at first I was like, dude, who won the match? Who's advancing to the 6-way match? And so they announced on a Twitter page that Sammy Callahan won by disqualification. And so I was like, what? I was like, but they both got attacked. And then I realized, oh no, it was Sammy Callahan. It was Sammy Callahan that got attacked first, and then Eddie Edwards. So Sammy Callahan, he advanced to the 6-way scramble match. So yeah. And so yeah, with this, I was disappointed at this, man. I really was. I was disappointed at this. I was disappointed at the fact that Kenny Omega still haven't gotten the in-ring celebration for winning the titles, man. He literally showed up at the last minute. He showed up at the last minute of the show. I would have just saved this segment. I would have saved the segment for last. Have the match with Edwards and Callahan, shorten it a little bit so you can give some extra time. Give some extra time to the in-ring celebration. But we didn't get no in-ring celebration. We didn't get no in-ring celebration from Omega. He didn't come out with no championships. He just came out to beat up some people. That was it. And I was like, oh my God, dude, come on, man. Come on. And so, yeah. So right after that, Don Callis, he had spoke.
This company and the people who work here and the fans at home, you wanted a celebration. You wanted the greatest wrestler in the last 20,000 years here in the building. Be careful what you ask for, because you might get it. You got it tonight. What a great way to celebrate than to beat down these punks and leave them laying. Enjoy your Impact World Champion.
Nice of you to show up, Kenny Omega.
And that was it. That was it with that. And man, I was waiting for a celebration, man. I was waiting for the in-ring celebration. So I guess that's what they meant by the celebration, man. But I wanted Omega to come out, man, just flashing the gold in everybody's face, man. Coming in the ring, cutting a promo with all the gold draped on him. I wanted him to do the same thing on Dynamite, but we didn't even get that on Dynamite. He did the same thing last night on Impact and on Dynamite, by not showing up with the championships. And so, man, I was like, man, come on, man. He needs to show up with all the gold, man. He needs to show it off. He's going to have to do it on Wednesday. He's going to have to do it on Dynamite, and he's going to have to do it on Impact. Just to let everybody know that, dude, just to let everybody that didn't know on AEW, like, hey, I won the Impact World Championship. And, they'll be like, what is Kenny Omega doing with all this gold? For the people that who doesn't watch Impact. Kenny Omega, I won all the championships. I won all the gold. And so, yeah. And another thing, man, I said this time and time and again, I'm still waiting for that invasion. I'm still waiting for that Impact Wrestling invasion from somebody. I'm telling you, man, somebody will go after Omega. Somebody that's vying after that Impact World Championship, they will show up on Dynamite. They will show up on Dynamite. And I think Sammy Callahan might be that first person to do it. Sammy Callahan might be that first person to do it, man, because he said, you ain't gonna know where, you ain't gonna know when I'm coming, you don't know where I'm going to be, but I'm going right after Omega, and I'm gonna take what's rightfully mine, and that's that Impact World Championship. And so yeah, and what if Sami Callihan? What if he doesn't want to wait for Impact? What if he doesn't want to wait for Impact Wrestling and just show up on AEW Dynamite? Because that would have been unpredictable. You would think that Sami Callihan would show up on Impact to confront Kenny Omega, but you know, he can swerve all of us by showing up on AEW Dynamite by saying, "Oh, you didn't expect me to be here, did you?" You know, this is your show AEW Dynamite, right? This is your show AEW Dynamite, right? I'm calling you out, Kenny Omega. I'm calling you out. I'm at your house, and I'm calling you out to this ring. Get in this ring right now. I'm calling you out, and I want my championship. I want my Impact World Championship. That's what needs to happen, man. Somebody needs to invade AEW, like take over AEW, and just call out Kenny Omega in the championships, man. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with the show. You know, really, really good show, man. Really, really, really good show. Really good show. You know, the matches were important. You know, the whole entire show was important. It was built around the Impact World Championship, which is nice. You need to build your shows around your championships and your champions. So that was really nice. We had a great X Division Championship match with, you know, Alexander and Austin. And so yeah, man. But yeah, it turned out to be a really great show. Really great show. And so yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, for Under Siege they added a match. So yeah, so Sami Callihan, he was added to that 6-way scramble match. And then they added another match for Under Siege. So it's gonna be Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion and the new Impact World Champion. And the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Eddie Edwards and Juice Robinson and David Finlay. And that's at Under Siege. That's on May 15th. So yeah. So yeah, man, that was Impact Wrestling. That was the Impact Wrestling review for April 29th, April 29th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And I'll see you guys on, it's either Friday or Saturday. Friday or Saturday for my Pro Wrestling Crate. I got my Pro Wrestling Crate sitting over there. And I'll be doing an unboxing. So it might be on Friday or Saturday. So yeah. And once again, guys, man, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And if you missed my last week's review of Impact Wrestling, the video is going to be right up here. And if you missed my Rebellion, review, the video is going to be right up here. So both of the links for these two videos will be down below in the link. Down below in the descriptions. The links to those videos will be down below in the description. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Once again, thank you for the support. Once again, thank you, and thank you, guys. And yeah, man. And this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.